I think Hunter Biden is a disgrace. You know, the #1 T-shirt selling right now is "Where's Hunter?" I came up with that one last night. Joe's son, Hunter, got thrown out of the Navy, and then he became a genius on Wall Street in about 2 days. By the way, whatever happened to Hunter? Where the hell is he? Where's Hunter? Hey, fellas, I have an idea for a new T-shirt. I love the cops, but let's do another T-shirt. Where's Hunter? Where is he? Hunter Biden walked away with $1.5 billion from China, $168,000 a month from Ukraine, supposedly a $3 million payment from Ukraine. Have I asked? No, but I can't imagine that somebody isn't asking. 2 months after President Obama put Joe in charge of Ukraine policy, they put Joe Biden in charge of Ukraine policy. Listen to this, and the press will not write it. They say, in totally unsubstantiated charges, every time they talk about him, President Trump has said that his son walked away with a fortune. Now, you know that's a totally unsubstantiated charge. Really? Now, think of it. Where's Hunter? Okay, get it. So where is Hunter? I want to see Hunter ask these questions. Hunter, you know nothing about energy. You know nothing about China. You know nothing about anything, frankly. Hunter, you're a loser. Why did you get $1.5 billion, Hunter? And your father was never considered smart. He was never considered a good senator. He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's ass.
Okay, let me cut in here real quick on Hunter's personal relationship with his wives and mistresses and whatnot. So I said he divorced his wife in 2000 and I think it was 17. And I might have mentioned his brother Beau died of cancer in 2015, and this is one of the reasons Biden says that he didn't run for the presidency in 2016. Well, after his brother died, then Hunter decided, I guess, he fell in love with his brother's wife, and so then they started seeing each other. As strange as that might seem, that would happen. You know, it usually happened back in the 19th century in the hills of Tennessee and Arkansas and whatnot, but I guess it can still happen today. And so from 2016 to 2019, Haley Biden was his mistress. But then they broke it off in 2019. Then a woman came forward in May of 2019 by the name of London Alexis, and she says that she has had his bastard child. So there's that out there. She sued him on a paternity suit for having his bastard child. That kind of hit him out of the blue, although I'm sure if he's had relations with her, then he knew something was coming down the pike. And then he turned around in August, just a month or so ago, and married Melissa Cohen from South Africa. She's an art dealer. So he's had a very mixed career, and he's had a very mixed marriage relationship life. He hasn't really stuck with anything for the long term, which brings us to Burisma. Burisma is the company that he worked for, the board of directors that he sat on, that is in question about this whole Ukraine mess involving both Biden and the Democrats are trying to drag Donald Trump into this. So let me get back to Hunter, though. Burisma is the largest gas company in Ukraine, operating in the Ukraine. And here's where it gets a little bit complicated in the he said, she said thing, all right? Let's cover what Donald Trump has said. That Joe Biden got him the job with Burisma. Now, that may be true because we know that Joe has probably opened a lot of windows for him in the past. And Hunter's been in condemnation because here he is. He never worked for a gas company in his life, didn't work for the energy business, didn't have a degree in engineering or energy or anything like that. He had a law degree. Somehow people think that if you're a lawyer, you can do just about anything. I don't agree with that, but that's what some people think. So here he is sitting on a board and sometimes making up, now they said he was making $50,000 a month. He wasn't, according to the reports, he wasn't making $50,000 every month. On some months he did make $50,000. But a lot of people are going to say $50,000, that is a lot of money. That's $50,000 is not a lot of money. Now, let me tell you why it's not a lot of money. Because if certain deals were made for him to have that position, then that means that there was an agreement that a portion of what he made would be contributed back to the Democratic Party, to the DNC. Now, I don't know for sure that Hunter did this, but I would pretty much lay money in Vegas on the fact that that was part of the deal, because that's the way deals are made. I'll do this for you, and then you make so much money, and then you scratch my back. It's been alleged that Joe went in and first off, he got into position, which he probably did. There's another felon called Victor Shokin. Victor Shokin was a prosecutor in Ukraine where he was doing investigations, getting ready for prosecution, and it's been thought that maybe Joe went in and got this prosecutor fired so that he wouldn't prosecute his son. The problem here is that his son, he didn't go sit on the board till 2014, and he got off the board in April of 2019, just shortly before his mistress told him that he had a bastard child coming. Now, Joe says that he got this fella fired, or I don't know that Joe admits that he got him fired, this Victor Shokin, because he was blocking investigations for other things, and it was in the betterment of the United States. Now, this fellow, though, claims that he was fired because he was going to investigate Hunter Biden. The problem is those investigations that Victor Shokin was doing was between 2010 and 2012. Biden's boy, Hunter, didn't go to work for that outfit until 2014, and he worked until 2019. But those investigations would have been penetrating areas that were before Hunter Biden got involved. So that may not be totally right. Now, on the other hand of this, it's been alleged that Trump threatened to take away or withhold $391 million in military aid from Ukraine, and he told Vladimir Zelensky that on the telephone conversation that he said that he wanted him to initiate an investigation into his opponent, Joe Biden, because allegedly Joe has done a lot of misdeeds. He alleged that Joe, supposedly it's been alleged that Trump said that Biden allegedly said that he was going to threaten to withhold $1 million of U.S. aid if they didn't fire Victor Shokin, who was a prosecutor, who supposedly Biden was in fear that he would be prosecuting his son, Hunter Biden. Yeah, I know, this is all he said, she said, and the shell game. All of these things are, it's the truth twisted. Did Donald Trump have a conversation with Zelensky? Yes. And now the transcript has been revealed, and there was no talk about withholding $391 or holding a dollar back of aid. There was no talk of Joe Biden. What Donald Trump was asking was, could he help him get to the bottom of any kind of wrongdoings that the intelligence community leaders have done to damage the United States? Does a transcript from their conversation indicate exactly what Trump said that he was indicating? But also Zelensky himself has reiterated the fact that there was no arm twisting going on whatsoever. He did not feel threatened at any time over Donald Trump. So, the Democratic Party likes to throw these things up on Trump, and they just lie. They just lie like crazy. And it makes you mad. But then again, you think about how crazy the Democratic Party is. But here's the thing. They're not always crazy. They're not right, but they're not crazy, because there's a strategy to it. So any Republicans that sit back and think, well, the Democrats, they're just a bunch of nut jobs and we'll just ignore them in the fun house here, don't do that, because the Democrats are up to a strategy. Remember, communists have a long-term strategy. You know, let me say as a side note here, I hate the fact that the Democrats call themselves the Democrats. As I say, I used to be a Democrat. For over 200 years, I was a Democrat. And I hate the fact that they've taken that name and they use it. I'd much rather, feel a lot more comfortable if they would simply call themselves what they are, a bunch of Marxist communists. socialists, Marxists, communists. Personally, I wish the Democratic Party would come back and reestablish its conservative wing, the old Dixiecrats as we used to call them, the Harry Truman Democrats. And if this was 1948, I would vote for Harry Truman. I sure as hell wouldn't vote for Dewey. But anyway, it's not 1948 anymore, and so we have to live in today. What I'm stuck with is the Republican Party. I can't stand it calling it the party of Lincoln. I hated Lincoln. I like the Democrats, but they've been taken over by the communists. But here is a man that I truly do like. And the next thing I want to talk about is this impeachment stuff.